Hello, my name is Lisa Olsen. I'm a professional development specialist, and it is my honor to share 10 keys to successful administrative leadership. Leadership is a very, very broad topic, as we all know, so I'm going to target in on some specific keys that can help assistants at every level, whether you have the title of administrative manager or you don't. Because the reality is every executive assistant, every administrative professional can and should be a true leader. So it's not about a title or a position, it's about a choice that we make every single day. In the administrative world, true leadership is demonstrated through our attitudes, our actions, and the influence that we have. So then, how can we exude this leadership? Well, I'm here to give you 10 keys. So get your pencils and your paper and let's jot some notes down. The first one is leaders stand on strong core values. If I were to ask you what your top 3 non-negotiable values are, would you be able to identify them quickly for me? These are the top 3 values that no matter what decision you make, you are weighing that decision against those non-negotiable values. They're so important because they're visible in our behaviors, in our actions, our attitudes, and even our work ethic. So the important thing to remember here is, are we honoring those values every single day? True leaders honor and respect their individual values. Number 2, leaders cultivate a positive attitude. I know it's not easy to stay positive when things are just falling apart all around you, right? The scheduling, the calendar just goes awry at the last minute. Work policies change. You're experiencing a change in your executive, new leadership in the corporation. It's really easy to stay positive when things are going smooth as silk, right? But when the apple cart gets a little upset, it is sometimes hard to maintain that positive attitude. But our attitude influences others around us. It's part of the Batari cycle, where our attitude affects other people's attitude, which then affects other people's behaviors, and the cycle just continues. Have you ever had that experience of walking into the office or even being on a remote Teams meeting or Zoom meeting, and you say good morning and it's just crickets, you get nothing in response? And then what happens? Then you have a tendency, I know that I'm speaking from experience here because I've fallen prey to this. What happens then is, then I don't say anything to anybody else. I'm going, wow, I wonder what's wrong with Susie over there. She didn't even respond back to me, good morning. Okay, well, it affects me. And then that affects other people's behaviors and attitudes as well. Use emotional intelligence to rise above those challenges and really strive to have that positive attitude no matter what. It doesn't mean we have to be Pollyanna every single minute of every single day, but we do want to try and have a positive attitude no matter what's happening or what's going on around us. Number 3, leaders adapt to change. Adaptability for assistants is non-negotiable. We often face transitions, as I just mentioned, in new executives, mergers, whatever might be happening around us, but we want to embrace those things as opportunities. Commit to being flexible and adaptable. We have to be able to ride the waves of change with confidence and adapt and flex as we need to. There's so many different circumstances and examples that I could give you, and I just don't have time in this short video here. But needless to say, if you need more information on this, I'm happy to share. Remember, I love this next phrase, that you and me, we are all ambassadors of adaptability. So be willing to flex and change as needed and adapt. Number 4, Leaders practice patience. I've often heard it said that patience is a virtue. Well, I think it is, but it's also a skill. We have to start with practicing patience with ourselves. Mistakes happen. Grant yourself a little grace. Extend patience to yourself first and then to others. We're in a fast-paced, high-pressure environment as EAs. Patience is what transforms challenges into learning moments. So practice that patience. It's really an art form, right? It's really a skill that oftentimes we do have to stop, count to 3, plant our feet on the ground and be patient and wait and observe and listen and try and respond instead of reacting, right? Number 5, leaders master clear communication. Effective communication is the foundation of building strong relationships. That's what's worked for me in my zillion years of being a high-level assistant. And I know it can help you. Be proactive. Step into those conversations that you might normally shy away from. Instead of going and talking to somebody at the water cooler about it, step into those crucial conversations. That's the title of one of the best books on communications I could ever suggest, and that is Crucial Conversations. Leadership thrives when we're having two-way communication. Make that your standard. Understand communication. It's, again, like leadership, such a broad topic. So pay attention to it. Be self-aware. How are you being perceived with your communication? True leaders master clear communication. Number 6, leaders welcome feedback. Oh my gosh, this one's so important. Feedback is a gift that fuels growth. Let me repeat that. Feedback is a gift that fuels growth. Actively seek it especially from those people that you respect. Don't shy away from constructive criticism. Ask those clarifying questions and use it to improve. Seek examples. Can you tell me when I demonstrated that, less than positive behavior? Or can you help me understand how I could have done that differently? True leaders seek feedback as an opportunity and not a threat. It's very, very powerful to understand that. Instead of, crossing our arms and rolling our eyes and then going and telling 15 people, well, I can't believe that, my manager told me this, ... Take time to recognize and see it as valuable in your professional growth. I always, when I was administrative manager for a team of 7 in Sacramento, California, I tried so hard to think of it in terms of feed forward instead of feedback. I wanted to my team members, anytime that I was giving them any sort of performance evaluation, that I recognized that it was an opportunity to help them to grow, to be better. And I wanted them to come away from the conversation feeling motivated to do it a little differently, to do it a little better, and to see themselves worthy of putting the time and effort into that. So it's our responsibility as EAs then to ask those questions, seek the feedback, and pay attention to what you're hearing. Number 7, leaders prioritize self-care. You cannot pour anything from an empty cup. Take the PTO, take the lunch, take the walk around your neighborhood if you're remote, take the walk around the building. Take time for yourself, but know your limits, right? Delegate when necessary and give yourself permission to recharge. When you care for yourself, you're better equipped to lead. That's just a fact, right? When you care for yourself, you're better equipped to lead. Never feel guilty about taking the time off that you need to recharge and re-energize and refuel, right? There is nothing that frustrates me more than when I hear an EA say, oh, well, I have maxed out my PTO, what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to clap for that? Are we supposed to say Yahoo? Something's wrong with that picture, right? Now, I know that oftentimes, we may work for executives at a very high level. I have supported CEOs in the past. I know that sometimes it makes it a little more challenging to schedule that PTO and that time off, but it doesn't negate the fact that it's just as important, right? So leaders prioritize self-care. Number 8, leaders take pride in their work. Leadership is about excellence, not mediocrity. Do work that you're proud of. Put the time and energy into executing your work with diligence, with pride. Show others how much you value your role by bringing brilliance and heart to everything that you do. Be the example that others look up to. Number 9, leaders set high standards for themselves. Great leaders never stop learning. Push yourself to grow every day, even in something small. Please beware of complacency. Challenge yourself to reach new heights. This one is so important. Strive for excellence and inspire others to do the same. Number 10, leaders balance humility and confidence. One of the best books I ever read was by an author named Jim Collins. The book is Good to Great. He also wrote an article for the Harvard Business Review called Level 5 Leadership. You can Google that and find that very easily. It will pop right up. And he discovered, after much research of talking and evaluating level 5 leaders, that there were 2 things that were critical to their success. The first one was willpower, just the will to do the job, the will to do the work, to work the work. And the second ingredient was humility. So as EAs, how does that apply? Well, we want to avoid that diva mentality. There's always more to learn. And believe it or not, someone is out there who might do your job a little differently than you and, dare I say, even a little better than you. So try this little exercise. The next time you enter a room, or even if you're entering a Zoom meeting or a Teams meeting, when you start or you enter that room, focus on the mindset of, what can I learn from all these other people? Before you try and prove yourself or try and convince yourself that you're the smartest person in the room. We want to develop that mindset that we have that little ounce of humility that keeps us grounded, that helps us recognize that, yes, we're brilliant. We do a great job. We are rock star assistants, right? However, there is also room for humility, because that's where the brilliance shines. Believe it or not, but if you embrace that diva mentality, the brilliance goes away. The brilliance light goes out. All people see is, oh gosh, she doesn't think there's anybody that could ever replace her or do her job. So balance humility with that confidence. And finally, number 10, or this is number 11, I think. This is your bonus tip. Leaders have fun. Celebrate wins. Celebrate the small wins. I remember I was traveling on the freeway from Sacramento to Southern California, and I got stuck in a road closure. The lane was closed on the freeway, and so there was one lane for like 40 miles. And I got stuck behind a big semi-truck with a sign on the back of it that said, "Find a reason to celebrate." So I don't know if it was a message from above or what, but I'm sharing that with you. Find a reason to celebrate. Smile. Be the spark that lights up your workplace. Leadership really is a journey, not a destination. Let these 10 keys guide you to being the best administrative leader you can be. How are you going to lead today or tomorrow? Thanks for joining.